Even if you're a longtime Atlus or Persona fan, Metaphor switches things up in some unexpected ways, which is why we found ourselves having to learn all new tricks and considerations while playing. And now it's time to pass them on to you. We'll be keeping this as spoiler-free as possible. Let's get to it. In most RPGs, you can put NPCs into two camps, either set dressing or a chance to get extra loot and actual useful information. Metaphor is the latter. Take some time to talk to the locals. Sometimes they'll give you enticing rewards and bits of info. Fairly early on, you'll get the opportunity to start cooking while you're on your runner. Cooking can net you some nice meals that provide decent healing and support. But do not start cooking until you've reached at least rank 4 with Maria. This is because time passes when you cook, wasting a whole day. But Maria's follower ability at rank 4 unlocks speed cooking, letting you cook without the day passing. For any days that you've cooked before unlocking this ability, those are completely lost days that you could have been leveling other royal virtues or completing other quests. So do not make this mistake. And for even more efficiency, make sure to grab a lot of ingredients for the recipe you want to make, so you can punch out multiple meals at the same time. Informants at your local taverns are highly suggested to visit before you tackle any active quests or locations you have on your to-do list. They give invaluable information about weaknesses and conditions of the road ahead, letting you prep your gear and archetypes ahead of time so you're ready. Just know that they give you warnings about the most dangerous parts of the dungeon, and there are some other lesser enemies that may counter that strategy.
Ineffective. It didn't affect them.
So always be ready to slightly adjust your equipment on the fly. These informant tips they give are also saved under your information tab, so you can always refer back to them whenever you need to. Check the calendar for the weekend day called Idles Day, a day where almost all shops provide a discount. I wouldn't recommend completely holding out on all purchases until this date, as some things need to be bought immediately for timely quests, but for big, costly purchases, definitely try to strategize to pick them up on these days for huge savings. Use your accumulated mag to unlock base classes early. Not only does this unlock basic skills that could be passed on to other classes using skill inheritance, but doing this gets you passively leveled up with more for his questline. With each new town that you arrive at, try and explore and take on as many quests as early as possible. This is much more efficient since you can take care of multiple quests along the way at the same time without doubling back and wasting days, like picking up somebody's groceries along the way to take down another bounty. Remember, at any side dungeons, not main dungeons, try and keep exploring after you complete the boss. MP, like in most Atlus games, is a use it or lose it situation in dungeons. Even if you grabbed all of the loot, just burn up the rest of your MP to beat up some more enemies. This will be free character and archetype experience that will give you a leg up in future fights. Make sure every day while traveling by runner to hit up the pantry for free recipe ingredients, hit up the bathroom for a low chance at a stat boost, the shower for free experience, and the camping fire on the deck for some random pickups. While your general team composition with a variety of archetypes is important, the most important to pick an archetype for is the main protagonist. This affects how your weapon works for real-time Shin Megami Tensei style combat. And if you pick a class like healer for yourself, the dinky healer attacks pale in comparison to a mage's massive AoE strikes. Synthesis attacks are powerful attacks that require more turn icons than usual, and require two characters with specific archetypes to work together. A couple tips is to really pay attention to what classes work well together, because even one switched out archetype could mean all of your synergy with the rest of your team goes out the window, and no synthesis attacks work. Also, there are some very powerful defensive synthesis abilities that can save the day, but they become infinitely more worth it if it's an offensive spell that hits weak points or crits.
Last one! Is everyone with me? You can do this!
All it takes is the right motivation.
This creates half-turn icons that can be used again for more attacks and abilities, basically turning just one powerful attack into 2 to 3 instead. Make sure to also read through some special setups that can force weaknesses to set up an alley-oop situation when possible. The Fantasmal Doll is a great trinket to pick up at the Gloam Hall in Grand Trad. This accessory lets any character use 2 turn icons for themselves. This is great for the tank class, since the Knight's Proclamation aggroing ability takes your whole turn without letting you do anything else. But with this accessory, lets you be a lot more flexible, like aggro then buff yourself, aggro and attack, or aggro and pass, which also creates a half turn, so you can still rotate to your next character and not be completely out of turns. Just don't pass or guard twice, that will completely burn through your turn icons. Stealing is a great way to get good equipment and loot for free, which in the long run saves money you could have spent for average gear at the shop. Stealing success is based on agility though, and depending on which character it's equipped to, can have varying levels of success. But you can guarantee steal by simply retrying the battle until you nab it. This, in a sense, is 100% success rate of stealing items, as long as you have the patience to keep retrying.
Why, hello there.
Those are just a few of the things we found while traveling through the kingdom of Uchronia. If there's any other tips you came across, let us know in the comments below. And for everything else gaming, keep it here on GameSpot.